Looks like I'm out of Plasti dip. So you've seen a few waterproofing videos now, how to Plasti dip, how to do this and that to waterproof your stuff. How about, here's one on how to un-Plasti dip. Yeah. Doesn't that look like fun? I got it all off. I'm surprised. The FXR, that was completely Plasti dipped. A little bit of work. I got it all off. Receiver was the same thing. That was all completely sealed. You can see as I've replaced my servos over time, I just cut, solder, and shrink wrap. I never unplug it anymore. Ideally, I guess, you know, if I was a little smarter, I'd probably have a female plug on this end, right? And I could just unplug it on the trail when need be. Basically what happened, we went for a run yesterday at Fish Creek Park, and got to the parking lot, pulled my truck out, and it wouldn't go. Unbelievable. That never happens to me. So, we did a little testing, changed out a servo, thanks to SS Louie for having a spare servo on him and letting me try it, which I will now have to fix for him because I ripped the end of it off so we could just solder the wires together, you know, or twist the wires together in the parking lot. So my initial thought was that you can see I put a few stickers on it yesterday. So I initially thought that maybe the Chevy didn't like being number 32. But then it hit me. I know what went wrong. Check it out. See, I put this Ford sticker on the back of my Chevy. Don't ask me why. I'm that guy, right? I got going yesterday with the stickers. You know, maybe I should have tested my junk instead of messing around with stickers, and I would have been able to drive yesterday, but whatever. I traipsed along with the crew yesterday. I got some videos coming up from that. I think Terry's got a video up already from yesterday, so it was a good time. Anyway, once I get back here, I ripped everything apart, started checking stuff out last night a little bit, and what I found was just a tiny bit of moisture on the receiver. Where is it? I'm running a Tactic 2.4 on this. Here's the receiver. What I love about these, no wire. 2.4 takes 4 bats in the radio. No wires at all. I love these receivers. I got a couple of these now, so I'm using it in my SCX. A couple of my boats are outfitted with this, so kind of ticked me off when I bought the Impulse 31. Nice boat, nice new boat like that, Spectrum system, and it's got a hole in the hull for an antenna, as well as another antenna running around the inside of the hull. Tactic, no antenna. I don't understand. I get just as good a range on the water, on the trail with the Tactic as I do with anything else, so I'm not sure how they can do it, and everybody else has to have wires, so if somebody wants to explain that to me, that'd be great. Anyway, when I took it apart, I had a whole, everything was Plasti dipped all in one go, right? Like, so all the plugs, all the receiver plugs and everything were just Plasti dipped on there. The only thing with Plasti dip is that where your Plasti dip ends, you know, and then it goes to the wires. Same thing with over here. I have a little tape here because I added in some different lights, but whatever. So the Plasti dip itself on the main body of whatever you've Plasti dipped, that's fine. That's golden. It's good unless you cut into it or rip it open. It's sealed. But here's the thing: is at the ends of whatever you have Plasti dipped, that's where water is potentially going to get in. And you know, right away it looks good when you first do it, but what it is that I've noticed is that over time, you're moving your battery connections around. Maybe you change motors a couple of times. Even just moving things around a little bit, you start to open. Same thing with these wires. Now remember, this thing was fully Plasti dipped, you know, up to here or whatever. But same thing, as you use the wires and move them around, it opens up the Plasti dip a bit potentially. So, you know, and it depends what you're doing. If you're just doing some splashing around and, you know, going through some puddles and scale type water crossings and stuff, that's completely different. When you're playing submarine, then water's going to go in places that you wouldn't think it would. So we've had a few submarine episodes lately, so, and that's just where we're at, right? If we see water, we're in it. So anyway, that's what happened, is where I had all the plugs that go onto this guy, Plasti dip together. At the end of the wires, like where the, you know, here, you can see where it was here. It just kind of started to open up, and I think that allowed just a little bit of moisture to get down the plug wires. So when I opened it up and pulled the receiver board out of the case, I've already cleaned it up, but there was a little bit of white and stuff. You could tell water had gotten onto it there. So I plugged everything back in this morning already before I started ripping all the Plasti dip off, and everything was good. It all worked fine, no problem. Yesterday it wouldn't. Couldn't get any throttle, just glitching. The servo was just, you know, freaking out left and right. So, actually, what happened is it drove off the tailgate of the truck. I had it sitting there, and I was looking at somebody else's truck. Radio and everything was on, and yeah, all of a sudden it drove off the truck. So I knew something was up. But anyway, so yeah, how to un-Plasti dip. Olfa. Nice pair of scissors. Man, be careful if you're trying to take this crap off. It's hard to get off. I stabbed myself once. I got one finger, a little stab with the Olfa. Pretty minor, I'm lucky. So, anyway, there you go. I'll be back on the trails in no time.